गुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 13, verse number 58. So we read the vision of Brahma and how when he was unable to understand, then Krishna removed his Maya, and then he saw the boys and calves. So now he continues to explain what happened after that. So he says, Tatorvak pratilabdhaksha kaipare tavaduthitaha krichadmilya vaidrishtir rachastaidam sahatmana. So tatorvak pratilabdhaksha kaipare tavaduthita. So thereafter Brahma, he came out of his state of samadhi, because he has, remember that all his 11 senses has lost their function. So he was internal state of happiness, out of bliss. So now he attained his external vision. Pratilabdhakshaka paretavad utthita. And it was as if he has come to life after death. Because if your all 11 senses don't work, you are dead. You are alive only if your senses are working. If your senses don't work, you are as good as dead, because you are cut off from the external world. And since his mind was also cut off, he was also cut off from his inner state. So therefore it says paretvad utthita, that it was as if he got up from the death. And krishrad unmilya vai drishtir achashtaidam sahatmana. And then he opened his eyes, because now before that his eyes were closed. So he was trying to rub his eyes. Of course he has 8 of them and only 2 hands. So he has to do extra work. So then he saw himself, and he also saw the outside world, Vrindavan. So Krichan unmilya vai drishti achashta idam. So idam means that this Vrindavan, sahatmana. Sarvak bahi pratilabdhani akshani yena sa. So he has attained his external awareness. Before that he was in internal awareness. So sa paretvat mrito yadi kathanchit punarutthishtati tatha ityartha. So therefore it was as if sometimes some people come back from death. They explain that they died. They saw some people, they saw the, what is that, black tunnel with the light at the end. So he was not seeing even the tunnel or light or anything, but he came out. So this must be very unusual experience for him. Idam jagat mamtaspadam atmana ahantaspadena apashyat. So then he saw this world, means he saw himself with the sense of I, that I am this person, and also things belonging to him. Tayorapi vismrita purvatvat. So when he was in the previous state, he has forgotten himself and things which belong to him. His swan was there, right? His carrier at least, his kamandalu, all these things he has forgotten. So now he came back and he was able to...
Babaji?
Yes.
Looks like you missed one line. Vismaya ras mahabharam mardikatvat iti bhava.
I don't have it in my...
Paretavad mrito yadi kathanchit puna uttishtati tatha iti artha. After that, Vismaya ras mahabharam mardikatvat iti.
Yeah, in my book, this line is not there.
Okay.
Must have missed it.
Okay.
So you can read it. What is the line?
Vismaya rasa mahabhara marditva iti bhava.
Okay. So he was completely absorbed in the bliss of that state of samadhi. That is the meaning. Because when you die, you also lose awareness of yourself. Means this body, this ahankara is gone, and things related to the body. But the person who dies, we don't know what happened to that person, but he experienced supreme bliss as it was described earlier. So sapadyeva abhita pashyan disvapashyat purastitam vrindavanam jana jivya drumakirnam samapriyam. So now at that time he saw all around him sapadyeva abhita pashyan. So he looked, because to look all around he does not have to move his neck. That is one advantage he has. He is all seeing. He sees all sides in every direction. So Pashyan Disho Apashyat Purastitam. So he saw this life in front of him. Jana, Jivya, Druma, Kirana. So there was life and trees, plants, which are sustenance or means of sustenance for people. Jana, Jivya, Druma, Kirana. So basically he saw Vrindavan. Vrindavanam, Jana, Jivya, Druma, Kirana, and Samapriyam. So he saw that this Samapriyam means it was a pleasant place, comfortable without any too much heat or cold, nice atmosphere. That's what he noticed. So tatascha param kripya krishnas tasmai sva madhurya vaibhavam prakashitvan itya. So till now Krishna showed him his Aishwarya, and now he is showing him his Madhurya. So Aishwarya means that Vishnu form is Aishwarya and Krishna form is Madhurya, human-like form. So now all that Brahma worshipping and all the tattvas, that was Aishwarya. So now he sees Krishna, cowherd boys, calves grazing around river, Yamuna, trees. It's like the way Vrindavan is. So Sapadyeva Samyag Asamantat. So he saw this immediately after that, once he opened the eyes. And then Asamantat Parasparam Priyani Eva Yatra Tata. So Samapriyam, he glosses it at place which everybody is having love for each other. Means there is no enmity, no jealousy. Vrindavan is place of love, friendship, and there are no defilement, the impurities of the heart which you see in the human beings. So those things are not there. So he was able to see. How did he see this? Because he saw everything was nice and everybody looked very happy. Birds, fruits, flowers, everything was blooming. So therefore he saw a nice, pleasant atmosphere. And that's what Vrindavan is. So yatra naisarga durvaira saha asanri mrigadaya mitrani iva ajitvasa druta ruta tarsha kadikam. So it's further described the nature of Vrindavan. And this is the most wonderful place. That in this Vrindavan, the animals which have Naisarga Durvaira, natural enmity, like cat and rat, right? The natural enmity. That's not that they are trained or rat has done some harm to the cat. Just that their nature is like that. It's in their DNA. They are born like that. So some animals have natural enmity. Like lion will attack a deer. Right? So Nri Mrigadaya. So human beings, animals, all which may have some natural enmity. There are some ferocious animals, they will attack human beings also. But here in Vrindavan they don't do that. So they are nirvaira. Yatra naisarga durvaira nahasya asan, they were together. So as in the Yoga Sutra, it is described that a yogi becomes free from enmity when he practices. There is a description of yama and niyama. So the first yama is ahimsa. Ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, yama. 5 yamas are there. So there it is described that if a yogi perfects the first one, ahimsa, then even animals in his vicinity will become non-violent. So that's why there are many stories in the Puranas which describe that the sages, they have their ashram in the forest, and the tiger and deer, they are sitting together in front of the sage. So they don't attack. The tiger does not attack. So there is a story about King Bharata, son of Dushyanta, Sakuntala, so that he would play with the tigers in the ashram. So this is because of the whole atmosphere. The atmosphere also becomes non-violent because the person, the yogi, has no violence, feeling of hatred, enmity towards anybody. So then it influences the atmosphere around. So just as we sometimes feel influence of other people when you go in somebody's presence, so if they are strong people, good or bad, then they influence you. So just as satsanga has its effect, asatsanga also has its effect. So here in Vrindavan, because everybody is full of love for Krishna, even animals, birds, then they are peaceful. So therefore it says yatra naisarga durvara. So this is the situation of those who have natural enmity. So that means there is no question of unnatural enmity. Because even if those who have natural enmity are not having enmity, then how those who do not have natural enmity will have enmity? So that is the significance of yatra naisarga durvaira saha asan nrimrigadaya. So mitrani eva, they all behaved like friends. So mitrani, the word mitra comes from mid snehane dhatu, means when your heart is like butter, sneha, affectionate, not hard, not harsh. When we have impurities in the heart, then it becomes hard. Right? It's a hard nut to crack. So soft-hearted, mitrani. That is what mitra means. Mitra means one who has softness, affection. So mitrani iva ajita vasa druta ruta tarsa kadikam. So why were they having this kind of nature, these animals who have natural enmity? This was because of the influence of residence of Ajita. Ajita Avasan. So Krishna's residence, Vrindavan. So Vrindavanam paritajya padamekam nagacchati. This is where Krishna is eternally residing. So because of him, Druta, Ruta, Tarsa, Kadika. So Ruta, anger, Tarsha, desire. So lust, anger, greed and so on, they all have run away from here, Druta. Means they don't exist in this place, which are found here in the material world at every step. So Tadevaha, what was said in the previous sloka, that it was Samapriyam, that everybody was affectionate, that is being described more elaborately in this sloka. So Nasarga Nisargotham Mitho Durvairam. Nasarga Virya means that which is intense enmity. Not just enmity but intense enmity. As soon as you see you jump. Cat sees the rat, immediately she jumps on it. Right? So like that. So yesham teyapi manujo vyaghradaya mitrani vasahevas. So similarly the tiger and human beings, the tiger will attack human being. So they were like friends together staying. Ajitasya avasena. Why? Because Krishna is the source of love. So because of his presence, then everywhere there is nirvarta or freedom from enmity. Sadrutaha palaita ruta tarshadaya krodha lobhadaya yasmat tasmin. So all this nature, anger, greed, lust, they have been kept away from here. It's not that once upon a time they were there and they ran away. Means that it is free from that place. So now the next sloka further describes what Brahma saw. So tatra udvahat pasupavamsa shishutva brahmadvayam paramanantamagada bodham vatsan sakhiniva pura parito vichintya dekam sapani kavalam parmeshta chasta. So Parmeshti Achashta, Parmeshti or Brahma, he saw. What did he see? So Tatra Udvahat, this is what he saw, that Krishna was carrying on his drama, his play. What was the play? Pasupa Vansha Shishutva Natyam. He was playing the role of a child of cowherd, or born in the family of the cowherds. Pashupa means cowherd. Pashum palayati, Pashupa. Vamsa means family, dynasty, and child born in that family. So he was playing this role, but actually he is Brahma Advayam. Means that Advaya Brahma, which is described in the Upanishad, that non-dual absolute reality, which is described in the Upanishad, was now seen by Brahma as a cowherd boy. That is the meaning. And he was not just cowherd boy, ordinary cowherd boy, but he was Parama, he was supreme, and he was Anantam, he was unlimited, and Agad Bodham, and supremely conscious, supremely intelligent, supremely knowledgeable. And Vatsan Sakhin Iva Pura Parito Vichinvad Ekam Sapani Kavalam. So he saw now Krishna only alone, himself, and he saw him with his food on his hand, and he was searching for the calves and the friends. So Vatsan Sakhin Eva Pura Parito Vichinvan. Just as 1 year ago he saw him, and 1 year ago when he had stolen the calves, then he stole the cowherd boys, then he saw Krishna alone with the food on his hand going around, and then he thought, let me see what he is going to do now. Will he bring these boys back? Will he create another one? Or will he call me? What is he going to do? So now he saw him again like that. So what is he going to think now? After seeing all the drama, and now he sees Krishna like this, so what is he going to think? He says, hats off to you. I bow down to your Maya. You're so great, so smart, so wonderful that I have no words. Because he wanted to, after all, what did Brahma want? Brahma wanted that Krishna is influenced by his Maya. So now he is showing that, look, I am influenced by your Maya. I am alone here and I don't have my friends, I don't have my cows, I am searching for them, right? This is what you want to see. It's all right, I show you that. But now Brahma is not fooled, because Brahma says, Brahma advayam paramam anantam agada bodham. That he understood that this is the Advaya Brahma. So, ekameva advitiyam Brahma, that Shruti statement. Ekameva advitiyam Brahma, that is Krishna. So this is the synthesis of the Upanishads which is being described here in Krishna. We already saw yasya bhasa sarvam idam bhavati tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam yasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. That already came, and now Brahma Advayam. So Upanishad says that Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, that Brahma is one without a second. So here it is, now he is only one without a second. All the boys, all the Vishnus, everything, and now he is one alone. So he showed that I am that Brahman. And he is also Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That also was already shown, that all these Vishnu forms were Satya, Jnana, Ananta, Ananda. Right? So the Upanishad, what you read about Brahman in the Upanishad, that is being depicted here in the personality of Krishna, and yet he has a form. So that very Krishna which is called Nirgun, Brahman which is called Nirgun Nirakar, is that very Brahma manifest here as Krishna. So that's why he says Pashupa Vamsha Shishutva Natyam Udvahat Parmeshti Achashta. That Brahma saw him playing as a cowherd boy with his food in his hand. So Sakhiniva Pura Parito Vichintya Ekam Sapani Kavalam Parameshti Achashta. So this is the most amazing thing. Tatascha Swaswarup Bhutani Chaturbhujatvadini Yog Maya eva Achadya Ekameva Advayam Brahma iti Shruti Uktam Swadarshitam Sarva Swarupa Mula Bhutam Swarupam Tam Darshyamasa. So this is now also the commentary where Krishna says Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartate. This is being shown here now, that how Krishna is the source of everything. So he says thereafter the 400 forms and all the tattvas and the murti personified deities of all the tattvas who were worshipping these Vishnu forms. So now they were all closed, became unmanifest. And the meaning of the Shruti statement Ekameva Advayam Brahma, Brahman, one without a second, or Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. So that Brahman is being shown, but he is the source of everything. He is not just a Nirakar Nirguna. Swadarshit Sarva Swarupa Mula Bhutam Swarupa. So that Swarupa, which is the source of all other Swarupas, that form which is the source of all other forms, which were already shown to Brahma. So now he manifests only that one form. So Tam Darshyamasa, that is the form which was shown to Brahma. So Brahma now is having a realization of the Upanishads directly. So Tatra Vrindavane, so Tatra means in Vrindavan. Vrindavane Parameshthi Brahma Brahma Achashta Apashyat. So the meaning of this sloka, the main sentence is that there in Vrindavan, Brahma saw Brahma. And then rest of the words are just description of that Brahma. What kind of Brahma did Brahma see? That is being described here. Kidrisham, what type of Brahman did he see? So now Brahma is seeing Brahman. Brahma, the word also comes from Brahman. So Brahman is seeing Brahman. Pasupa Vansa Shishutve api Pradha Parama Chaturauchitam Natyam. So that although he is just a child born in the family of cowherd people. So cowherd people are not considered as some very intelligent, means smart people. They are simple because they are dealing with animals, cows. They are not doing business. Business people are smart. They deal with all types of people. Brahmanas are smart because they study Shastra. Kshatriyas have to do politics. They are also smart. But Vaishyas, they do farming. They are with animals. So that's why the word Pashupa has been used. That they are just dealing with the Pashus, animals. That is their Sangha. So he is born in that family, Pashupa Vansha, and that also he is not some grown-up man. He is only 6-year-old child, born in the family of cattle raisers. So you don't expect him to be very mature, very expert, right? That is the significance of Pasupa Vansha Shishutva. So first Pashupa, those who deal with animals, then born in that as a child, not grown up. But he has shown Praudha Paruma Chaturochitam Natyam. But he is doing Natya, he is acting in a play. So to be an actor you have to be very expert. Some small children cannot do acting. So therefore, Praudha Parama Chatura Uchitam Natyam. He is doing the play or acting of a person who is very expert, smart and mature. Because he is doing acting for Brahma, not for some village people.
Drama for Brahma.
Yes. So great dramatist. So therefore, what he says, Mata Prabhur Maya Mohita Eveti Brahmanam Mithya Vimanam Grahet. And now what is the acting he is doing? It's not that he is acting as a child. Don't think like that. As a child, he is a real child. As a child, as a cowherd boy, that is not the acting part. You may think that his acting means he is really not that. No. That is his Swarupa. But he is acting, and the acting is this, what is being described in the sloka. The acting is this, that Brahma is going to think now that Brahma will have a false ahankara, false pride, that I have bewildered my master. So he is acting that. Because now Brahma has understood that he is the master. Right? There is no doubt about that. After that he is doing an acting so that Brahma now can have a false pride that look, my master is bewildered by me. That is the Natya. Means actually he is telling him that this is what you want, to believe in, so I do this. So this is actually a slap on Brahma's faces. Right? Because now Brahma already knows who is he. So how can he have that false pride? But he is showing him. So this is indirect way of telling him that you fool, you want to trick me? This is what I am. But in a very gentle way. This is the Vyanjana. So मिथ्याभिमानं ग्राहेतुं शाद्बले वत्सान् दृष्ट्वापि पुलिनेऽपि सखीन् अदृष्ट्वापि. I don't know why it should be adrishtva. I thought it should be drishtva. But this book has Adarshan Abhinayam Natanam Bhut Swarupatvat. So he is seeing his friends, he is seeing the cows. After seeing them, he is acting as if he is not seeing them. That is the acting. Right? I see you are sitting and I say, where is Dauji? I don't see him. So that's why the word natyam is used. So adrishtva adarshan abhinayam natanam bhuta swarupatvat. So he is acting like as if he is a nata. Bhut swarupatvat param. He is superior than all those. Darshitebhyas chidvaibhavebhyopi aparesham chidanandamaya parasahasra महावैभवानाम विद्यमानत्वाद अनंतम. So now he is explaining every word here. Param, Anantam, Agad Bodham, all this. So Natyam means that his acting is superior than all the natas, all the actors. And Darshitebhyas vaibhyebhyopi aparesham. So that majesty which was shown by him and which was all transcendental. So his majesty is beyond that. Chidanandamaya parasahasra mahavaibhavanam vidyamanatvat. So he has got unlimited majesty in him, therefore he is unlimited. Much superior than what is manifested anywhere. And Paramesthino Varakasya Kaganana Sri Baldevadyair Avtarairapi Duspraveshatvat Agada Bodham. And his intelligence is so deep that what to speak of petty Brahma. Even avatars like Baldev cannot enter into his mind and understand what he is doing. So therefore it is called Agadha Bodham. So Bodham means your mind or his intelligence or his awareness is so deep, means Agadha. There is no limit of it. There is no one who can enter into it. So Gaho Vilodhne taking a dive, you don't find the end of it. So that is Agadha Bodham. उक्तलक्षणात् नाट्यात् वत्सान् सखींश्च पुरैव परित इतस्ततो विचिन्वदिति वत्स बालान्वेषणं पूर्ववर्षे ब्रह्मणा माया मोहितत्वात् यथार्थम एव अवगतम्. So with this kind of drama act, so he is searching for the calves and the friends Pura eva parita itastato, who are actually in front, but he is searching them here and there. Vichinvat vats balanveshnam purvarshe brahmana mahimohi tattvat. So as if he was bewildered by Brahma in the previous verse. Yathartham eva avagatam. So Brahma understood it to be real, that he is actually searching for them. That's how he saw. So adhina tu maya nirmuktatvat. So Brahma had earlier understood that it was real, that he was really searching for them, and he was really maya mohit. He was really bewildered. But now, adhina tu maya nirmuktakatvat shadbale trinam charto vatsan puline cha bhunjanan balan pashyata swapritan maik vats balakanscha pashyata tena manmohanartham abhinaya matramidam iti avgatam. So now what is Brahma thinking at present? So at present he is thinking that these calves, they are eating grass right here, and the cowherd boys, they are sitting at the bank of Yamuna and eating their lunch, and the one which I took away, they are all product of Maya, they are not real. Swapritan maika vats balakansya pashyata tena manmohanartham mam abhinamatra. So he is not seeing all this, who are actually present here and acting for my sake, so that I get bewildered now, that what is he doing? Because he knows that everybody is here. So ateva nomidyate iti agram stuti vakyena vatsa balan vichinvate iti visheshnam nopas upanyastam. So why is he saying that Krishna was actually seeing the cowherd boys? Because when Brahma prays to Krishna in the next chapter, the first sloka, nomidyate abharo vapushe tadit ambaraya gunjavatans pariprichalasan mukhaya vanyasraje kaval vetra vishana venu mridupade pashupangajaya. So there he describes Krishna only as if he is having this food on his hand and his dress and everything. He does not describe, he does not say that one who was searching for having this food and searching for the calves. He did not say that. So that means he understood now that Krishna is actually seeing and he is only acting. Otherwise, he in his description, when he prays, because when he does his stuti in the 14th chapter, next chapter, the first verse is a description of Krishna as he is seeing him. So there he did not say that he was searching for the Balavatsa and Vichinvate. He could have had that. Iti Visheshnam, he did not have this adjective there. Swarup Bhutanam Vasudev Murtinam Swabhedanam Yog Maya Vachadnad Ekam Bhakta Manohara Mahamadhur Lila Maya Tvat Sapani Kavalam. But he only described that Murti, that form of Krishna where he is holding food on his palm, and all these other forms have been covered up by his Yoga Maya. Atra kasminchid adhikarini nikrishte dharma dharmi bhavarahitam nirakaram jnanamatram yat brahmaiti prasiddham tadapi yoga maya tad drishti prati chidanand maya nam api swarupa gun nam lila parikar dhamadi nam achadnat jnanamatra seva prakashnat. So now he says that this Krishna appears in these two ways. That one way is now how Brahma is seeing him, but those who are following the path of Jnana Marga, those who are following the path of Nirakar Brahman, whose goal is to realize formless, qualityless Brahman. So for them he appears like that. He does not manifest this form of Narakriti Brahma. So Brahman is two ways that it is manifest. One is the Narakriti Brahma, or Brahman is human form. Another is the Nirakar Brahma. So Narakriti Brahma and Nirakar Brahma. So the Jnanis, those who follow the path of Advaita Vedanta, so they want to have realization of Brahman. So therefore they are not qualified to have experience of this form. So therefore he says that kasmichid adhikarini nikrishte, that those who are lower adhikaris, those who do not have the adhikar to see this form, who are second class spiritualists. So for them he does not manifest his form in which there are qualities and he is the qualified. Dharma dharmi bhavarahitam. So he manifests as Brahman in which there is no dharma and there is no dharmi. So dharmi means one who possesses the gunas or qualities, and dharmas are the qualities. So there is Brahman is like that. So he manifests them that. Nirakaram, without form, jnana matram, only just pure consciousness. Yat brahmeti prasiddham. So that Brahman which is known from the Upanishad, tadapi yogmaya eva tadrishti prati. So that by his yogmaya he shows that only. Chidananda mayanam api rup gunanam lila parikar dhamadinam achhadanat. Then what happens to his this beautiful form? He covers it. So this Brahman is not separate from Krishna. Brahmano hi pratishtham amritasya vyasacha. But he covers his form, yoga maya samavrita. So the jnanis, they cannot see this form, and they just see they don't even see anything. Whatever realization, you cannot even say that they realize, but they have Brahma Sakshatkar without any qualities, without any parikaras, associates, none of these things. So parikar dhamadinam achhadanat. So his associates, abode, qualities, form, name, activities, all that get covered. So all this is Gyan Matrasya Prakashnat Sangatam iti evam mitho viruddhartha apishrutiyo nirvirodhamev sangamayitavya iti dikha. Therefore in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, you find both types of statements. So there are statements where the tattva, the Brahman is described as nirgun nirakara. There are also descriptions where it is described as with qualities. Upanishad Purusham Tam Prichhami is called the Purusha. So the both can be synthesized here in this pastime of Krishna. So that's why the word Brahma Advayam Achashta is used. So Parameshti Tatra Brahma Advayam Achashta. Brahma saw that Advaya Brahma. So this is two in one. So Narakar Brahma and Nirakar Brahma both are together in one. So according to Ye Yatha Mam Prapadyante Tam Stathai Bhajami. So Mam Vartmanu Vartante Manusya Partha Sarvasha. So according to the bhav, according to the wish of the spiritualist sadhaka, then he reveals himself. So if one wants to only see the Brahman part, then he manifests only that Brahman part to such a person and not more than that. So that's what is. So therefore there is no contradiction. Otherwise people try to take only one side. They take the Advaita Vedantis, they deny the form completely. And then Vaishnavas try to say no, everywhere Brahman means Bhagwan. So Jiva Goswami says, Vishwanath Chakravarti says there is no problem. Both are possible here. So therefore Sangamayitavya, this is the Samadhan, this is the solution. Tatra Pashupa Vansa Shishutva Natvam Eva Udvaha Tra Tu Swarupamiti Vyakhyanam Udvahan Natu Swarupam iti Vyakhyanam Śrīmad-Bhāgavatasya Mohinitva Pratipadakam eva. So those people who think or who will explain this, some people can also explain this sloka in a different way. he has explained this word natya in a way that he is doing this natya, this acting, this drama for Brahma. Some will say that actually he is acting as a child, but he is not child. This also, you can also explain it like that. That he is actually Brahman, but this form is just a drama. So he says those people, because those who believe in Brahman as the ultimate, that's how they will say, that's how they will explain. So he says those who explain this verse like this, for them this Bhāgavatam is like a Mohini. The Mohini avatar. So what did Mohini avatar do? That she came when Asuras and Suras, Devas and Asuras, they were fighting for the Amrita. So then she appeared there and said, don't fight, sit down, I will distribute. So then she gave all the Amrita to the Devas and the Asuras did not get any Amrita. So those who want Brahman, they are like that. They don't get, because they don't get any Amrita. They don't want to accept Krishna's beautiful form as real, as Sachidanand. So he says for them Bhagavatam is like a Mohini. Yes. So Namidyate Abhravapushe iti uttrata Nami ityuktva. So why he is saying? What is wrong with their explanation? He says Brahma himself is going to pray to this Krishna. He did not pray to Brahman. He starts his prayer to him, the person, not to the Brahman. So therefore he says that Namidyate abhravapushe tadidambra iti uttratra Nami iti uktva prastutasya bhagavatah karmatve jate prayojanapekshayam evam bhuto Bhagavan eva prayojanamiti vyachakshana swami charanam api nabhimatam iti avashayati. So when you say Namidyate abhravapushe, I bow down to this form which has color like the cloud, abhravapushe. So what is the object of his bowing down? It is a sakarmak kriya, it is a transitive verb. I bow down, right? So bow down to somebody. So to whom is he bowing down? To this form. And if this form is not real, then his bowing down will have no meaning. Then stuti has no purpose. If he has understood that this is actually Brahman, then there is no point in bowing down to the form. Then he will know that the real stuff is beyond this form. And he should talk about that. But he did not say that. So therefore those who explain like this, their explanation is not proper, and even Sridhar Swami does not accept their explanation. Although he also comes in Advaita Sampradaya. So therefore he says, Na Swami Charananam api na abhimatam iti avashayate. Nahi avastavi bhutam vastu stuti prayojani kriyate iti avadhe. He says something which is not real, that cannot be the object of prayer. Something which is not the truth, that cannot be the ultimate prayojana, the purpose of one's prayer. Because why would one pray to that? What is the intention? What is the purpose? So therefore one should not think that because the word natyam has been used here, because this sloka can be misinterpreted like that this is all just a play, but the real thing is Brahma Advayam and Paramanantam Agad Bodham. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Satyam Jnanam. So all that they will apply that. And this. But then Brahma cannot see that Brahman. He says, Parmeshti Achashta, he saw. How can you see Brahman? Brahman is Nirakar, cannot be seen. But he saw Krishna as Brahmadvaya. So therefore one should not misinterpret it like that. So any question on this? So Sandeep, is he there? He's not there. So you should worship Maya or Yoga Maya?
Krishna, which is the holder of both.
No, but if you want to become free from Maya, you should worship Maya, right?
Yoga Maya. Yes, Babaji, yes, the question that I was doing yesterday related to Maya and Yoga Maya is have this purpose. But yesterday I was thinking like but I didn't verbalize this, but it's like when you do a prayer, you need to know the tattva very well, because what makes beautiful a prayer is not only the poetry inside or the intention, but also the tattva, how many truth are in what you are saying, that you are not praising just by praise. So in the sense of Brahma saw first and praise after. But sometimes we praise before. So in this...
Sometimes?
No, always. In our case, well, yes. But for example, yes, when we are in front of the deity or in front of the guru, all of that, sometimes some thinkings come out, some prayers come out. So we can take the prayers that Brahma will do as following guideline of the tattva that we can...
Yeah, it is recommended. This is there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Stuti, Stotra. And all these prayers you recite. Any other question? Okay, then we'll stop.
Does Haribol?
Yes.
Yes. So I didn't quite fully grasp the logic behind why this is not correct, why it does not refer to Brahman. For example, one would say, for example, that okay, so this only the Saguna form could be worshipped. The Nirguna form is anyways beyond any thought. It's Anirvachaniya. So then somebody has to worship it. Brahma would have to worship Krishna only. So this does not prove that, just as because Brahma worshipped Krishna does not prove that Krishna is eternal. It just means that he is honoring the form of Brahman which is in the form of Krishna, because the other Brahman is not possible to worship. Anyways. So you cannot say, for example, if it was really a Nirguna Brahman, he would not have worshipped, because Nirguna Brahman anyways cannot be worshipped.
So why worship?
To honor Brahman which is in the form of Saguna.
Yeah, but how do you honor if he cannot be worshipped? You are saying that he cannot be worshipped. So if he cannot be worshipped, he cannot be honored.
No. So the Nirguna Brahman is beyond the minds. The only thing you can do is worship the Saguna Brahman, which is what.
Yeah, but I am saying why worship? Why you want to do that?
Realize so that ultimately that's a stepping stone to realize the Nirguna Brahman.
But he is already realized here. He is not making these prayers to.
He is
not making this. he is not making these prayers to realize anything. He is making prayers because he has realized. So one is that you do prayers because you want to realize, and one is you do prayers because you have realized. So Brahma is not making prayer to realize anything. He is making prayers because he has realized everything. And therefore,
Yes, now it makes sense.
therefore object of his prayer cannot be something which is not his ultimate goal or ultimate realization. And it was already said, where it was said, Tavat Sarve Vatsapala, that all these Vatspalas, Satya Jnanam Ananta Murtaya, Chidananda Ekrasa, that verse was already there. That all these forms which were manifest there, Satya Jnana Ananta Matra Ekras Murtaya, Asprishta Bhuri Mahatmya Api Upanishadrisha, that these forms were all Satya Jnana Ananta and they cannot be experienced by Jnanis. So you cannot say now that this Krishna form is not the ultimate.